How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you. I appreciate your willingness to let me barge in your office and have a quick interview for you.
You want to go in here?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Sure. You know, I know I talked to you a little bit about this. One of the things that I'm doing this for is to hear stories about Catawba County, about our area, about the people that are making it work. And your name certainly was one of the first that I thought of.
Oh, thank you.
So, but you know, when I start this, I always like to, especially people that have been here their whole life, just about, right, is what is something that brings a smile to your face when you think of growing up in this area, back in this area, but when you think about your childhood, what is something that you think about?
You know, I think it's walking home from school. So I grew up in Conover, so just down the road, and my mom used to pick me up from school, and we would walk downtown and go to Bowman Drug and get the world's famous orangeade, and we'd hang out there in the old soda fountain that they have, and walk home. And you know, I think that's what makes, you know, growing up here special, is just all those fun memories and the small town life. So that's
why I ask it, because everybody's got something a little bit different. But you know, I want this interview series to go not just Catawba, but Alexander and Caldwell and all over, but learning, you know, what our kids are experiencing you know, how that's going to impact them moving forward. But you said from Conover, left and are a 49er.
And that's right. Went to UNC
Charlotte.
Yes.
But decided to come back.
I did.
All right. Decided to come back and decided to, you know, start a career here. And start a family here. So what was important kind of globally about coming back to Catawba County?
Well, it was always my heart's desire to come back, actually. So, you know, like you said, I moved away to Charlotte. I actually started my career in Charlotte in market research. But my heart's desire was to always come back and make home better. And I didn't really know Chamber of Commerce work. It's actually funny, a running joke in our industry is that Chamber of Commerce work really finds you. You don't really find it.
Right.
But I came from a long line of community servants, and you know, whether they were volunteers or whether they were entrepreneurs or whether they were elected officials. And I think it just kind of service to community was in my blood, but then fell in love with business, and my entrepreneurial flame was lit as a little girl behind my lemonade stand on, you know, First Avenue North in Conover, and then had a passion for strategic planning and branding. And I think all of that really collided in the work I get to do every day at the Chamber. But more than that, like you said, being able to, you're not just a number here, like you really can make a difference. In Charlotte, I felt kind of like a number, like people were passing through, and here you have the ability to use your voice to impact true change in our community. And I found that in working at the Chamber. But at the same time, I want that for my children. Like, I have the ability to work alongside of great leaders in our community to make our community better for them. And just how sweet and special my childhood was here, it's gotten even better. It's gotten better. I mean, I know you relate. You relate to that as well. It's gotten better, and will continue to get better. And so the fact that my children have the ability to grow up here it's just really special.
Really special. So you talk about the Chamber, and just for the general public, we want to make sure that everybody's aware of what that job is, what your job is. And so talk to me just a quick description on, hey, this is what I do.
So I, by title, am the president and chief executive officer of the Chamber of Catawba County. And so we are a nonprofit business association. So we have 850 businesses that businesses, also local governments, nonprofits, educational entities that invest in this organization, in order for us to convene the right resources, the right leadership and influence to get things done on behalf of the business community, but also which directly impacts economic health. So I always say economic health and a thriving business climate go hand in hand. And so those are the things that we work on every day.
Sure. Now, this community was set on pillars of individuals that helped move this big stone forward.
So
and you had one of the great ones in Danny Hearn.
I
and
did.
So being able to sit, I had one of the great ones in Harry McComb, and many others have had some great ones. Talk about when you first got in here and were able to watch somebody who cared about it, because that's what it is. It's about caring about business, caring about, the community, watching somebody and how that kind of elevated your career.
We all have the privilege of standing on shoulders of giants, don't we? I do. I mean, Danny Hearn was an incredible mentor for me. I always call him my number one mentor. He still is to this day. He still is probably Lindsay's biggest fan, which I'm so grateful to have him. And he saw me as that, young professional right out of college, and he saw something in me that I didn't necessarily see even in myself. And so having the privilege to learn from him, and then allowing him allowing me to really kind of cut my teeth on, not only doing the work that we do, but also even running an organization and taking on more responsibility. And then just watching him and how he had relationships with those in our community, like you said, that are kind of pushing this rock forward. And I'm so fortunate, and he's one of the good ones for sure.
Yeah, he is. So talking about our community as a whole, I think there's two questions, especially when I think of them, and I ask other people in other industries, but yours is kind of like the one that really would have, I feel like, information we all want to know, is when you think about 10 years from now or 15 years from now, like what's some anxiety, or what are some things that concern you, like that you're like, hey, these are the things that we need to tackle to make my children's future in this area and business in this area great?
Sure. Someone told me, and I love this quote, it said, the greatest enemy of progress is yesterday's success. And we are experiencing that now. I mean, we have had the last 10 years. I mean, you've seen the economic transformation. We can all somewhat bask in it.
Right.
But the greatest enemy of progress is yesterday's success. And I tell my team this all the time. The pursuit of value and relevance is every day. It's a daily pursuit. And so our organization is convening leaders, the business community, and you sat around that board table, Hank, and thank you for it, to look over the horizon. What are those challenges that are coming ahead? Yes, we can ride on this wave of momentum, of growth that we're experiencing, but we do need to pay attention and kind of shine a big, white, bright light on some of those challenges. Workforce. Like we need to be thinking about what are the skills that are needed in today's for jobs that are open today. But there are careers that we're trying to develop students that don't even really exist yet. We're trying to give students skills for careers that don't exist yet.
Right.
And what is that? How can we stay on the forefront of convening the business community, the education community, and also the nonprofit and local government community to understand, what are those skills that are needed for our workforce, and even barriers to workforce. So housing. This is your expertise, Hank. We've had a lot, record building permits for the last 3 years. And this year, I think we're on pace to exceed that record. Residential development is key. And having, I call it income aligned housing, we need all housing, but we certainly need housing that our workforce can afford. So that's certainly something that we need to look at. And even childcare. Things like family and childcare. So making sure that our youngest are taken care of so that individuals like you and I can go to work and have that satisfaction that our children are being taken care of.
Right.
and also equipping them for, of course, their future as well. But those are some of the things that kind of are on my mind. I'll say one more thing. This is a dual-edged sword, right? This is one that is a challenge, but also you can see it as an opportunity. Leadership succession across our community and also across our businesses. So there are a high percentage of business owners that are within several years of retirement. They're looking to say, who can I pass this on to?
Right.
Whether it's the next generation or whether it's, employee ownership,
right.
Or other, you're going to see a lot of businesses kind of succeeding into the next phase. How do we leverage that as a community, keep local ownership so that we can continue to have leaders like yourself that are continue to lean in and make this place better? So again, challenge and opportunities, all of that.
Well, I mean, I think it's commendable for you to recognize, hey, we are in such a high rising success rate right now that we could bask in the sunlight of this, and we really need to be kind of pushing, because as it moves forward, we've got 10, 20, 30 years before we pass that along to someone else.
That's right.
So I find like that's some great points that you just made. But then let's talk about the fun stuff. It's like, what do you? I mean, that's
stuff.
Fun
too.
Yeah. But like, what are you excited about? Like, what excites you moving forward? And like, for the chamber and for our communities around us, because we're seeing growth in Newton and in Sherrills Ford, and that
we are
part of the county, which is amazing. But it's what other exciting things that you feel that are going to help the chamber, are going to help our community moving forward.
Hank, it's great being on a winning team. It really is, isn't it? It's great being on a winning team, and I am one part of that. The chamber's one part of that. But what excites me is to see how engaged the business community is right now. We've always had those legacy leaders we talked about earlier that have said, yes, I want to lead my business and I want to ensure that I'm creating a great place for my employees to work and provide for their families, but I'm interested in our greater community. I see how the success of our greater region impacts my business, and I want to lean in and be involved and make this place better. And so getting to work very closely with individuals like that, like on our board or others, is really exciting to me. But the momentum we have now, so we just wrapped up 2 years developing the Catawba County talent strategy. And so some of those points I mentioned earlier, some of those challenges are, we've got business, local government, education, and nonprofit partners around the table working together to help solve and create innovative solutions around addressing some of these key issues. So just to see how, kind of that the superpower of being able to convene those various sectors, and, kind of fuel impact and solutions around those areas that are really of greatest concern, going forward is exciting to me. That's the stuff I love to do. But just seeing how we're doing it, and our community is growing and thriving, and we do have great leaders in the right seats, and so lots of great potential, and our future is certainly bright.
And the partnership between, it's not always good in different areas of the country. I mean, some chambers have a hard time with the business community or with the municipality or whatever it may be, but it really goes to your leadership and the leadership before you and your leadership. I mean, when what you've done over the last few years sitting in that seat is remarkable, and
thank you.
The county appreciates it, the city appreciates it. I think that's the best thing, is that the success isn't wasted on luck. It's the work that you've done. And so, it's been a great pleasure sitting here and talking to you a little bit about it.
Like I said, every leader surrounds themselves with people that are much, much smarter and brighter, more brilliant, and And again, it's great to be on a winning team, great to be surrounded by great folks. So this has been fun.
Well, I appreciate you letting me come in and do it. Yeah, it's my friend.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.